Dorthea Lange was born Dorthea Nutzhorn on May 26, 1895 in Hoboken, New Jersey. When her parents divorced, she dropped her father's name and instead carried her mother's maiden name throughout her life. Following a stint working in a New York City photo studio, Lange decided to pursue a career in photography. She studied the profession at Columbia University and then worked for several photographers, including Arnold Genth and Clarence Hudson White. In 1918, Lange was running a successful portrait studio in San Francisco, California, but then developed a taste for documentary photography in the 1920s. She and her husband traveled the southwestern United States and photographed Native Americans. Then came the Great Depression of the 1930s. Labor strikes and lines for food and bread provided exceptional photo opportunities, and Lange took advantage of them. Her photos of the unemployed and homeless during this period helped set the foundation for the rest of her career. In 1933, she photographed a man who was turned away from a crowd of people in front of a soup kitchen run by a woman known as the White Angel. It was her crowning achievement to date and led to a job opportunity with the Farm Security Administration. In 1935, Lange divorced her husband and married an economist and professor at the University of California named Paul Taylor. For the 5 years following their marriage, the couple traveled and documented rural poverty in the U.S. and the exploitation of sharecroppers and migrant laborers, bringing the forgotten people's struggles to the forefront of society.
With Paul Taylor, she had written a book about the migrants from the Dust Bowl. It was called An American Exodus. Taylor, a University of California economist, taught her to make objective and accurate captions of her photographs, sometimes using her subject's own words. Lange and Taylor were dedicated to documenting the great erosion of people from America's heartland. Even though academic objectivity might have helped them cope with human suffering, anyone looking at Dorthea Lange's photographs today can see her feelings written all through them.
She distributed her iconic photos to newspapers across the country for free. In March of 1936, Lange took what would be the most recognized photo of her career. It was taken of Florence Owens Thompson, a migrant worker and mother of 7. The photo of Thompson was taken in Southern California after her family's car had broken down. Lange took 6 pictures over the course of 10 minutes, and they became the most iconic images of the era, especially her final photo from the session. Lange didn't collect much information about the subject of her photos, and the identity of the woman went unknown through 1978. When Thompson was finally identified, it became known that she did not like the fact that Lange had taken and published her photo. She claimed that Lange had told her the photos would not be published and that she would be sent a copy of them. Her biggest gripe, however, was that no matter how popular the photo became, as part of the public domain, she could not profit from it. In 1940, Lange became the first woman ever to be awarded the Guggenheim Fellowship Grant as a result of her work in the arts. Following the Japanese attack of Pearl Harbor, Lange was hired by the Office of War Information and shifted her photographic focus towards the documentation of Japanese Americans as they were moved to internment camps. Because of the critical nature of her images, Lange's photos from the internment camp era were kept guarded by the Army and not seen for more than 50 years. Despite battling health issues over her last years, Lange remained active, co-founding Aperture, a photographic magazine, in 1952. In October of 1965, Lange passed away from esophageal cancer. She was 70 years old. In 2008, she was inducted into the California Hall of Fame by then-Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger.